Full disclosure before we start, it's been a really good day of sunshine and good Japanese whiskey and steak and imported French cheese, so if I'm stranger than normal, that would be why. Hey everyone, Charlie here. Full disclosure before we start, it's been a really good day of sunshine and good Japanese whiskey and steak and imported French cheese, so if I'm stranger than normal, that would be why. So it has been over 5 months since I've been here in Japan. It's been like 5 months and 5 days, something like that. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really, really good. I was sort of struggling what I want to talk about for this video because I think it's important for me when and if I go back home to sort of to look back on these monthly update videos to see what I was doing, right? Through this year in Japan or whatever, and I want to stay connected to you guys because you are awesome human beings. The thing about traveling, right, is I'm in the camp that when you travel, you're two different things, right? You can fall into two different camps. You can either be a tourist or you can be a traveler, right? And there's a little bit of elitism to that view, I understand, but let me explain myself a little bit. So a tourist is a person who visits a place, sees the sights, and comes to understand it superficially, right? You come to Japan, you have a few pieces of sushi, you check out Akihabara, and you're like, okay, well, I've had the experience, right? It's very superficial. For the majority of my stay here, I fell into that camp, mostly because as much as I tried to tell myself otherwise, and even on camera, I try to tell you guys otherwise, I was so uncomfortable in my skin being here for a long, long time, and so I was living sort of very superficially. You know, I was going through the motions more than anything, and now I feel like I'm in the camp that I always feel like you should strive to be in, which is the traveler camp, and that's especially if you're writing about these things, you want to make an effort to understand people as more than just caricatures, as more than just stereotypes. You want to understand food as more of like some kind of marker that you're supposed to hit because you're in the country, right? Like you want to truly come to understand these things. And I'm at the point now where I feel like I've stopped being okay with that sort of superficial understanding of this country, and have crossed over into a point where I'm reveling in all these different things. I have friends who are these super creative types, and it's actually pretty difficult because there's the language barrier, right? But to see Japan through their eyes, to see myself through their eyes, it's been revelatory, and I mean also important. And I needed that, and I think it can be dangerous when you're part of the YouTube community to use it as a crutch. When you have a support structure, you tend to lean on it when you need to, right? And I think I've to a very large degree, I was doing that for the first 4.5 months I was here, meeting people I only knew at first through YouTube and sort of using them, not using them, well, I mean, to be honest, of course, using them in a way, right? That's how you make friends. And that's fantastic. I've met some really, really cool people, people who I now have relationships with in varying degrees, and you know, that's great. But it's also, in a way, YouTube can be sort of too much of a tie to like the same sort of life you've lived. Like I can, if I can speak English with people, or I can make those sort of same cultural distinctions, right? Or I can sort of associate culturally, then why? I think it's sort of like the same of in like an eikaiwa, why you're not supposed to speak English to your students, or you're not supposed to speak Japanese to your students, is because once you know that safety net is there, why risk like walking the tightrope without one? You know what I mean? Like why put yourself out on a limb? And so I think to my chagrin, I think I've been realizing that the safety net is there and sort of allowing it to catch me too much. And as I said, now I have friends, and yeah, I feel I feel like I live here. I feel like I live here, right? I'm invested in understanding the world around me and coming to understand these people, right? And I mean these people in sort of an overarching, super generalization, of course. That's not to say that I'm not going to keep being friends with these awesome YouTubers I met. Of course not. That'd be crazy. That'd be madness. But anyway, so that's sort of how I'm feeling about the beginning of May, and I can't believe it's May already, right? Like, why is it already May? Sort of along with that shift and that sort of finding my footing, finding my comfort, right, and coming to be a person who's living here instead of just a transient, is what I want to do with this channel. If I know a lot of you guys have been watching since the beginning, actually, which is awesome, and I'm so thankful for you. So thank you. But this channel is, especially recently, has been in sort of like this growing pain period, right? This transitional period, because I didn't know what I wanted to do with it for a really long time. I just sort of did whatever, right? I had an idea for a video and I did it, regardless of the quality, even though that's not how I wanted to approach it. But I don't know if it was the last video or one of the last couple videos anyway, where I told the story about trying to find curry, right? And those are the sort of videos I want to make. I want to make funny videos that have some sort of like cinematic element to them, right? Because at the end of the day, why I got into this and why I write and why I do all these other things, right, is because I love telling stories. And so these sort of personalized videos I don't think are going to go away anytime soon. But at the same time, I want to start making more content that is more of a storytelling bent to it, right? Instead of just being like, oh, well, here's a blah, blah, blah about Japan. Like, I'm in Japan. This is Chari no Seikatsu, right? Like, this is my daily life in Japan. That's the whole point. But at the same time, I know what kind of videos I want to make now. And so I hope you'll stick around for those. I've just invested in After Effects, and I'm slowing. If you can't tell, I've slowed how much content I put out at a time, because I'm not satisfied with just putting out something to put something out. So that's not what this channel should be, and that's not what I'm going to be happy with. So if I'm going to keep doing this, and I want to keep doing it, right, that's why I'm making these investments. I'm going to make videos that I find funny, that I find challenging to me to make, that I find interesting or thought-provoking or whatever. That's going to be the aim of this channel from now on. So I hope that as I sort of push towards that shift, that you guys who have been here, the 275 of you who are now subscribed to this channel, which I can't even believe, thank you guys so much. I hope you will come along for that, because I'm going to put whatever I can into it. So that is the 5-month update, guys. Again, I can't believe it's already May, and I've been here for this long. At first, I couldn't imagine a time when it would be this far into this experience. So thank you as always for watching, guys. Thank you so very much for the support. This is getting a little long-winded. It's been long-winded for a while, probably, but there is so much joy that comes from seeing your comments. Yeah, I'm so thrilled that you guys find this life, or this life that I'm living, interesting enough, or that you feel that I can answer your questions, or you feel a connection, and I feel it with you too, or on Twitter, or on Facebook, whatever. I'm so happy. I'm so happy, guys, and I couldn't even imagine this level of success for the channel. So thank you so very much for watching. I'm not going to stop. I'm just going to keep getting better. Otherwise, what's the point? And yes, thank you, and I'll see you very soon indeed. Cheers.